Hey, what's happening? Happy hump day. It's time to review some songs, ladies and gents. Hope you guys are doing well. It is Wednesday, and we're here to do some live song reviews. If you haven't been a part of this before, I want to just let you know exactly what this is all about. Basically, if you're on the mailing list, you get a link to upload your song so that we can go through and review your songs. And what I'm reviewing the songs for typically is I'm looking for market viability, first and foremost. I'm looking for songwriting, mixing, mastering, production, arrangement, performance, all that stuff. And I'm going to give you as much feedback as I can within an hour, and we're going to get through as many people as possible. It is 6:35, so I'm 5 minutes late. Sorry about that. I've just been, pretty busy today. But yeah, if anybody's here right now, just drop your name and a little comment here, just so I know who's here. I always love knowing, who's involved and who's participating, right? So, I don't know if you guys also caught the live mastering session I did the other day, but if you didn't, I think you should definitely check that out. That was a really good time. I think there's a lot to learn there as well, so you should definitely tap in with that. Yo, what's up, Bascout? I'll give you guys some shout outs here. Bascout, go give him a follow. Cameron George, what's up, man? And Mel, all right. A little percent, I like that. Yo, Felix, what's up, man? Felix! All right, we got Richard, Roosevelt. Nice. All right, you guys, well, shit, let's get right into it. I don't want to waste your guys' time at all. I just want to give you guys as much feedback, give you guys as much, attention as possible. We leave these videos up so that you guys can get as many views as possible on your music as well. And just so you know, we can't monetize these because a lot of the songs are copywritten. And you guys are actually going to collect royalties on anything that this is getting. So it's really in your best interest, if your music's getting reviewed, to share this video and share these videos just to get more reach and more people checking out your music. That's all I'm trying to do, is just help you guys out. So let's get right into it. Let's see what we got today. Reach and more people checking out your music. That's all. Let's see what we got on the Dropbox. I'm excited. I always get excited about this because you never know what you're going to hear. You could hear some really crazy shit that's like super whack, and you could hear some stuff that you're like, wow, this is a fucking great song. So it's always just like all over the place. So yeah, I'm going to go by time uploaded just so you guys know. If you are part of the Radium Roundtable, I will allow you to cut the line. Just let me know that you're here and you're part of the roundtable, and I will put you ahead of everybody. All right, so let's get right into it. I'm going to show you my desktop here so that you guys can see what's going on. All right, there we go. All right, so here we are. So first up here is Felix Rattray Dreams. All right, let's get into it. Let's check this out. I'm excited.
The girl in my dream, she a stunner. Quit one back, realized I wanna recognize it's harder. What's the point in others? Cause she was the one, now she know what I want, and she got it, I'm coming. Never know it's touch and go. The way they feel, they might like being alone. And I can't lie, I was sleeping on her. reality, cause you're in my dreams, yeah. See her in my dreams, her in my dreams. I know she was the one, but now she's gone.
Dope. I think this is very cool way to start the live tonight. So thank you so much, Felix. Appreciate you uploading. Dope track. I like the vocals. I like the melodies. I like the writing. I like the pen. I think that's really cool. The one thing that I think is really lacking here is a good master. I just don't think the master is really there. I think you gotta it's a lot of 808, right? And a very, very crispy, filtered out vocal. That's one thing I just think is kind of dying, that whole idea. I'd like to hear more of the harmonic structure of those synths and the stuff in the back. Feels like it could be richer and warmer, and not so detached for me. Meaning I want that 808 and the kick and the drums and everything to be more glued to the vocals and not feel so detached. They just feel kind of in different worlds. Another thing I think that would help is just kind of backing off on the auto-tune. A lot of the times, this style and the new trap wave kind of shit is you could get away with heavy auto-tune, but there's just parts in here that I think you got to be a little bit more confident with your voice, right? When you're doing runs and stuff, especially I think right here is just really kind of irks me with the auto-tune. That's just kind of whack, for me. You're in my dream. That's just, nah. I think you could easily sing that, and even just have the auto-tune retune speed just slowed down a little bit on that part. And with good engineering, you should be able to, if I mix a record, I'm going to be messing around with the auto-tune tuning speed and retune speed and automating stuff all the way through if I'm not using Melodyne. Right? So a lot of times I use Melodyne and I use autotune. So I'll Melodyne the vocals to get obviously in tune, stuff that's 50 cents off or half a step off, things like that. And just kind of dial everything in so that it sounds really natural. And then I'll add autotune, just sprinkles of it for effect and stuff. But that just doesn't really work for me in that part. It's trying to be epic and shit, but it kind of turns into cheeseball. Because you got that nah. But otherwise cool. I like the vibe of it. It has the feel, and I think you got something here, Felix. I'd like to hear more stuff from you, man. Good work. All right, let's get into the next one. Bask Out, By My Side. Let's roll. What did you guys think about that last one? I mean, I think it's a good contender. It's a great way to start the night. I'm feeling it. All right, let's get into it.
I hide away all my emotions. They tell me to find a way out of my commotions. I have seen enough for people to believe it's true. Oh, I've missed it. You always make sure I'm alright. I keep my eyes away from home. It's not how when you're by the side. I think my body starts to even again. Said stop thinking about the morning. promise I'm alright. I keep my eyes away from harm. It's not how when you're by my side. All I need is for you to let me go. I've seen enough of my kind. It's not how when you're by my side. It's not how when you're by my side.
All right, so I like the jam. I like the feel of it. I think it's like it's cool. It's nothing like, you know, to be honest with you, like nothing really like stands out to me. The playing, I think maybe the guitar is probably the best part of the playing and the instrumentation and musicianship. But as far as anything else, like it doesn't really like stick out to me. Like I'm not like, oh yeah, I love that, or this makes me feel a certain way. And I think sometimes we can get lost in the sauce, right? Like we can get lost in plugins and processing and EQing and like, you know, messing around with shit all day. And the truth is, like, a lot of that stuff kind of takes away from the song more than it adds to the song if you're not really, really good at it. You know, like you're not to the point where you can kind of paint with the EQs and the compressors and the reverbs and stuff. So yeah, I mean, Bass Scout, I think you should definitely hire an engineer. Like, you know, give them a shot. Like, give me a shot at a mix. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised at how good your music could sound. I mean, that's the first thing I'll say. Second thing I'll say is if I'm going to give you notes on some things that I think that would like make this dramatically better, like instantly. The drum programming, like get someone else to program the drums, or get a drummer, or get someone to, I don't know, like finesse the drums that knows drums really well. I feel like a lot of the feel in the drums is just too like don't, you know, it's too like just not musical, not groovy, doesn't have the groove to me. That and the bass are not really like locked in. There's no like supporting foundational groove that really has me locked in. I'm kind of like, where's the groove at? Like I'm trying to grab onto something and I can't really grab onto it. And then it's really hard to then have something that's not foundationally there to then start adding other stuff on top, right? So like I tell anybody that's going to make a song, especially in the rock genre, blues, funk, R&B, trap, it doesn't matter. Like most genres are going to be groove based. Go back, strip it all, and literally go to the drums and the bass and just lock that in, you know, like make sure you spend tons of time on that groove and that bass and make sure it feels really good before you add anything else. Don't add any vocals, don't add a bunch of guitars and stuff, because the drum and the bass aren't good. You know, they're not there. They're not solid. It's not a solid idea and foundation. So that's what I would say is like strip it back and work on the groove first. Second thing, once you get that down, which is going to take you a lot of work, unless you got someone that can really play a groove and get the groove down, you know, get a drummer and a bass player working together. Once you have that locked in, the vocals definitely need like some sort of reverb or room to them. They're just super dry, but they're not dry in a good way. They're dry in like a kind of brittle, harsh, on top of the track kind of way, like detached from the track. So I'd like to hear the vocals more like in a room, you know, like just a nightclub room, or, you know, somewhere you would listen to this kind of music at, right? Very simple reverb program. Like you could do it with Logic or Pro Tools, like built-in reverbs. And then also there's like crazy frequency build up, like in the 1.5K to about 4K in the vocals. That's really harsh. And then some sibilant stuff, but the sibilance doesn't really bug me that much. It's more the harsh frequencies of the vocal. You really want more of like the chest in this vocal, you know, like in between the throat and the chest, and you want to focus on that area, which is lower, right? It's like the 1K area, you know, like go a little down from where you're at and really get that, like get that feel. And, you know, even the low stuff, like go around 100 and, you know, 180 hertz kind of vibe and get some of that body, that chest, you know, make the vocal feel more powerful. and less like harsh and like ah, ah, like grabby that like hurts your ear. But that's a lot of stuff, like mixed stuff. But I honestly think you got to work on the arrangement and the groove first and the foundation of the song before you really like just. It's really like, look, it's tempting when you're making music, especially in the box, to just like add, layer, right? Instead of like building a foundation and then spending hours on the foundation, right? Like, oh, the drum part, and like arranging drums and arranging the bass and arranging like the fluidity and getting the parts and the, going from like the verse to the chorus and everything just making sense. The drum fills making sense with the bass line and things like moving at the same time. And once you have that down, you have the foundation that you can add guitar chords and rhythm guitars and just lock that in, like really lock it in where it feels so good without anything else besides drum and bass. So hopefully that helps. That's really my 2 cents on this one. Let's move on. Jetel Jones, somebody. Let's roll. You guys liking this? If you're liking it, it would mean a lot if you just like gave some thumbs up, show some love. I do this stuff for you guys, take out my time, take an hour of my day just to sit here, give you guys feedback, help you guys out. All I ask from you, just show some love. That's it. All right, let's go.
I just wanna ease your mind. Let me give you a piece of mind. Let me be your distraction. Everything don't deserve a reaction, babe. Can you imagine if you love me with the same passion? Just let me be your escape from reality. Don't matter what's happening, I'm right here next to you. Let's not wait to be happy now. Don't wanna waste another minute, every second counts. Baby, I love that body. I know you spend time on that body. Say you don't love nobody, so let me be your somebody. Baby, I love that body. I know you spend time on that body. Say you don't love nobody, so let me be your somebody.
Okay, so right about there in the song, I'm just kind of like, okay. That it? That's all you got for me? Like, I don't understand this little refrain either. Like, why drop the energy into, but not like have the drums drop out or anything else? I think this song like lacks production, right? So, Jetel, I don't know if you're like producing yourself, or if you're the producer and someone's singing on it. I really don't know. So I'm not gonna like talk to you as if I know that. I'm just gonna talk about overall like what I think of this. And I think the production like has another 60% to go, right? Like the drums sound cool, the bass sounds cool, but it's not like popping out of speakers. It's not grabbing me. It just feels kind of in the box. Like I grabbed some presets and I threw them together. And then like the vocals just are put on top of some production that's kind of, all right, it's okay. Like there's an idea. Right, so it feels like it's kind of like a sketch pad. If you're gonna produce this, I would get a producer involved, right? And have someone help you produce this. I could easily produce something like this and definitely take it up many notches, right? Just because like the sounds and the mix and the texture and the sonics and like how you're playing around with the arrangement and like how the vocals and the dimension and what you should be doing with the vocals and stacks and harmonies. And like when things should come in and when they should come out and when the drums should change up, when you should have hi-hats come in, when the hi-hats should come out, when the bass line should, change from like the boop, boop to like maybe a padded bass sub, Like you got to figure out moments in the track to keep people in their attention involved. And I love the vibe, right? Like you got the vibe of what you're trying to do. It's like this soulful R&B, but it also has like little Afro beats to it, which I love, right? But you have to be very deliberate with that shit. You can't half-ass or lukewarm that shit, because people are gonna be like, I don't know what this is trying to do. And the thing I love is when I hear from amateur producers like, I don't know what to call my genre. It's so unique, you know. And it's like, nah, you're just not like really fucking like delivering on what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too murky. So people are like, I don't know what the hell that is, you know. So yeah, exactly. So yo, that's dance hall. Exactly. So be deliberate with the dance hall. 100%. Right? So dance hall, be deliberate with the dance hall drums, you know, and the bass, and like what you're doing. Like lock that rhythm section in and show me like, yo, this is all about I'm gonna be dance hall. Like that part of it is foundationally dance hall. And then I'm gonna do R&B vocals over dance hall. I mean, Drake, right? But that's kind of like, you know, lock in on that. And it's really the production for me that I'm just kind of like, it's kind of lukewarm. But yeah, see, like soft cool, I don't know what that means. But yeah, it could be soft and cool. I think it could be a really cool vibe. But the production needs to like be at a better level. Like right now it just feels like it's kind of thrown together to me. And this part here like doesn't make sense, the refrain, like just making me feel like okay. But overall, Giselle, like it's like go back and produce, right? Like produce the beat up. And then you can start working on the vocals and the vocal production around that. Or just kind of work on them at the same time, right? With like a producer, like an executive producer, somebody that can like, you know, kind of go, oh, you know, and it needs this moment. And like, oh, let's drop out the drums here and let's have this happen, etc. So that you can kind of carry the track. But yeah, it's cool. It's a cool vibe. It's a great idea, I think. Like, it's a cool idea. All right, let's move on. Ray Mays, Lucifer.
Turn me up. Okay. Fuck it up. Okay. Fuck it up. Let's get it. Fuck it up. I love this piano shit. What? Flippin' 112, no peaches and cream. Got shorty, she fucking the team. 40 extensions, it come with a beam. Me and my niggas, we came up for peace. Fuckin' with us, yeah, we take up the team. Like I said, we be making a scene. Told tough, put your face on the T. That's your bitch, yeah, I'm making a screen. He got snot on his nose, so we wipe it like slack. All my killers, they really intact. Fuck up the bag and get it right back. Me and Dada like Kobe and Shaq. Ooh, yeah, we ran up the racks. Step in the Louis, it cost me a stack. When you speak on my name, little niggas speak fast. So throw to my name, get hit with the I got the chefs away, my pieces is sitting, my palms consistently itching. I feel like Superman, these jerks got me tripping. 2 to 3 come with extensions. Spit cooking up, I steady be burning the kitchen. I came for rags to riches. I'm going up, my foot on they necks. I be fucking the baddest bitches. I got the chefs away, my pieces is sitting, my palms consistently itching. I feel like Superman.
All right, so you know, like that's about enough for me on this track. And the reason being is like the beat is so, like, it could be so fucking cool, right? Like, like it has cool bounce, and then like the rap on it is just so straight. Da 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 da. I'm in the minute da 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 da. Like, and like flip it a little bit, bro. Like, Ray, you don't have to like stay. Just, I'm gonna have this one line, and then I'm gonna do the next line. Like, you have the same rap the whole way. Like, it's just kind of boring, right? Like, especially a minute in, and I haven't heard anything new. I haven't heard like any hook that's gonna be like catchy or like melody. There's no melody in here. It's just kind of like feels like a freestyle over like a you know, sample beat to me. Like, that's, I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think. All right, email high speed. Let's go.
The more everything around me change, the more it's the same.
Going high speed forward.
Moving at a pace that don't get heart racing, but I'm out here. I'm going
high speed forward. High speed forward.
I'm going
high speed forward. Going high speed forward.
I'm going
high speed forward. High speed forward.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, like this could be something if you got like a mix done, you know what I mean? Like the vocals are just like super saturated and like just don't sound like with the beat. The beat is like completely smashed, so like the low end is just getting like there's no sub there, you know, like you're just choking everything out. So yeah, this is like all mix issues. It's really hard for me to even listen to this, to be honest. I think most of it, like this feels like it was made for sync licensing. Like it could work on like a car movie or a car chase or like, you know, like something like that. But dude, like this needs so much work on the engineering that it's incredible. Like if you send this to a publisher or anybody for sync, they're going to be like, I can't really listen to this. I couldn't pitch this out to anybody, you know? So yeah, this is all mix issues to me. It's really like just like the mixing is like thrown together. Like someone didn't know what they were doing. They just maybe threw it through Lander after the mix was really bad. The female vocals are just like totally distorted and harmonic, like saturated to death, but they're also just like super on the sides. And then like this stuff in here where you got this like that is so distracting. I have no idea what you're saying. It doesn't sound intentional. It sounds like a mistake. You know, I'm going like it just sounds like something weird is going on in the background. So yeah, email, like, you know, you want a mix, like hit me up. All right, let's move on. Kyle Sky, Halo.
You had the power.
Yo, just like being honest with you, I would have skipped right there. Like that intro is so boring. Bring like maybe some vocals in a lot sooner. This is just like it's like okay.
Middle fingers know my name. Deep scars on my face. Trigger fingers show my faith. Willing Martin on my waist. Life is happiness and pain. Barely laughing in the rain. Finding beauty in this thing. Halo, halo on my way. Nothing good's easy to gain. Lessons learned ain't time in vain. Knock my Tuesday out Sunday. Driving, running out of space. Eat your frost and share the cake. Northside streets get paved and fed. Halo, halo, keep me safe. Halo, halo on my head. Halo, halo, hey, yeah, yeah. Halo, 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 halo. She be calling out my name. Baby crawling out my way. Baby calling. Halo, halo on my head. Baby calling. I've been balling on my name. I want all it. Halo, halo on my head. She be calling out my name. Say they call me out my name.
Okay, yeah, this kind of sounds like a sketch to me, you know. But also like the biggest thing, Kyle, like here is that like intentional. You got to be really intentional with what you're doing production wise. Like this whole intro is just kind of confusing, you know. Like why not just get into this sooner?
Deep scars on my face. My name, deep scars on my face. Trigger fingers show my name, deep scars on keep me safe. Halo, halo on my.
Right, and then also I think your sounds are just kind of like they're not there, you know. Like you need better drum samples, you need better sounds overall. Just to update the sound and just use better sounds. Like that snare drum is just really like kind of distracting. It's like like it just doesn't sound good. Like with like the whole like bigger than life kind of vibe that you're going for, and the halo on my name, and like just that as a song idea, or just as a concept overall, using small sounds and using like just kind of cheesy cheeseball sounds doesn't really work. those sounds work great, like in like a super fun like trap beat, you know, that's just kind of like not taking itself seriously. That Lil Wayne's just gassing on or something. But yeah, with this, it's like you got like a different vibe. You're going for like this like, I don't know what you're going for, to be honest. Like, and maybe that's the problem, right? So I don't know what's going on here. But yeah, the halo on my name, like that's what I remember. Halo, you know. So I just think it's a matter of like the production stuff is really what I think needs to be improved. But also the mixing, mastering, engineering could all be improved like crazy. Like the vocals sound really dry and just kind of bland and boring. I think you can really spice the vocals up. They sound like you just kind of like put a mic in front of you and just went at it. Doesn't really feel like it's in the track. It just feels kind of like you were writing and recording as you were writing, sort of thing. It doesn't sound like a record, right? So that's the big difference. And you know, with a good mix and master and getting better sounds in there, like finding the right sounds, really dialing in the right drums and all that stuff, and figuring out this intro part, I think you'll start to capture a bigger audience, right? Because when you get into this little drop area and you got like cooler sounds and it like sounds really dope sonically and your voice sounds big and like, you know, and cutty and like bold and important, then that whole section is going to be sold, you know, like people are going to be like, oh, what is this? This is dope. You know what I mean? Like you got to draw that audience in. And this part isn't really drawing an audience in. I think it's confusing an audience. Because you're like, what is this song? What is about to happen? I don't know. I don't even know if I want to stick around to see, because this is like drops finally in like 34 seconds. You know, yeah, that's a hard sell right there. So those are my notes on that one. Hope that was helpful, Kyle. Honestly, some stuff it's like it's hard to give notes on because it's like doesn't sound like it's a finished record or like a finished concept. It sounds like sort of like you're like writing it still and you're like, yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, you know? And you know, hopefully I'm giving you good enough feedback that is going to help you like go, you know, try some new stuff on that. All right, let's get into Jose Cruz, O2 Kill. Oh shit, shit's getting serious.
Yeah, you talk a good game, but the only things
All right, that was a fun one. I actually like fuck with that. I think like gives me like Ramones vibes, right? As far as like the mix goes, I don't know if you guys like intentionally did that, but it definitely sounds older. You know what I mean? Like the way that it's scooped out, like it sounds like much older than like something that's modern and new, which is like kind of cool. Like that's a vibe. Like if you want to go for that vibe, like go for that vibe. I'd like to hear other songs from you, Jose, so I can kind of like understand what the feel of the band and like the sonics you guys are going for. But like hearing it right away for me, I think the things that like, you know, as I'm in a studio and I'm like listening on my monitors that I've been using for the last decade, you know, it's like automatically I'm like, whoa, I'm missing the mid range. Like I'm missing the soul. Like I'm missing that like 300, you know, that area that everybody likes to scoop out. Like they're like, oh, we got to keep scooping that shit. The soul. And then also like some of the high mids where I'm just kind of like, something's missing in this track, right? Like the guitars and everything just kind of sound pushed back. They sound not that important, you know? And this is like a really fucking fast, like, you know, song. Like it's like punk and like it has like aggressive stuff going on and the solo and stuff, but it's not like the mids and like the soul and the push. It's not doing that. It sounds like really like the mix overall, right? Is in the master is like, it's like pushed back and feels like really scooped out to me, right? And my ears and my monitoring and like, you know, and that's like that could be totally like you guys did that on purpose and that's what you want and that's your sound is like super scooped out, super like toned down and like don't feel like the song's aggressive, but we don't want the mix and stuff to be aggressive, etc. So I can understand why you would want to do that, but it definitely feels really scooped to me as far as the mix and master. And everything else would just be me like being like, you know, the drummer's going a little crazy, you know, but like that's your guys' sound, then fucking cool. Like keep going with it. I fuck with it. I think it's a cool, really cool track, Jose. I think the vocals also like they don't feel like important enough. Like they're just so small in the track. They're like they're so tiny. But that could be part of, you know, again, that could be part of your sound. So I'm not going to like give notes on that. But as far as like this genre and this vibe, like it sounds like old school Ramones sped up and fucking more like, you know, just more like musical, if that makes sense. All right. Good work, Jose. I dig it. All right. Matt Burkick. I don't know how to say that. All my flaws. Sorry if I butchered your name, bro. All right, this track is like really interesting to me, Matt. Like you did something real interesting, and I don't really know. Like I can't put my finger on it, but it like kind of reminds me of Khalid, like the vocal does. It's like kind of this soulful vocal, but the problem is that you're really not like letting that shine, you know, and it feels so tucked back and so unimportant in the mix. it feels like it's such like an afterthought. You know what I mean? Like what sounds and feels like it's the most important part of this track is that guitar and the drums, right? Like it just feels like the vocal is just kind of like it's just there. And I don't know. Like I feel like you gotta rethink the mix. You gotta rethink like how you approach this, because it could be a really cool vibe and idea and song if you really like put those vocals like front and center and made them more important. First of all, second of all, like tune them up, right? Because there's some pitch issues there, and that's okay. Like, but you know, just tuning them up a little bit. You don't need to go slap a bunch of auto tune on them. Like, you know, a great engineer can melodyne it so it sounds really natural, and any parts that are just kind of out that are irking the ear, you just fix and take care of, and just like get that vocal sounding more important and kind of tucking the other elements back, like the guitar being like you don't need all that. I think those are secondary elements. I think you got to tell your story, and it sounds pretty emotional. It sounds like you're talking about your flaws, and it's talking about like even in your voice and like the way you're singing sounds very like emotional delivery. And I think you're just kind of you're cheating people out of that. You're cheating yourself out of that with this mix. And yeah, it just kind of sucks because I'd like to hear this mixed well, because I think I think it would change my perspective on it and maybe clarify what the song's about more and kind of get the intentions across. And then this like drum and bass like breakbeat thing, like that just kind of throws me off. I don't really know about that. It's just like almost too experimental for this track. Like you already have so many experimental kind of vibes going on in the track. That just feels like, okay, you took me over. Like I'm like, what? Like, all right, bro, chill out, right? The song's 2 minutes and 2 seconds long, and it already kind of feels long, which is weird for me. Usually if I get to like a 2-minute song and I get like a minute and 22 seconds in, like I want to feel like, oh, fuck yeah, I want to hear more. And then I get to the end of 2 minutes and I'm like, man, I wish that was 3 minutes long. That's like a great song that's going to keep you captivated. And I think that has a lot to do with just getting your vocal production right and getting the mix right so that it's really sonically like enhancing your story and what you're saying. So those are my notes on this one. It's a very, very interesting track. It's hard to give notes on this because the mix is so like not complementary to the story and the lyrics and the melodies that it's just hard. Like I'm like, what's going on sort of thing, right? Like it just feels like kind of an experiment, but I think it could be really cool. Is my whole point. Good work, man. All right, so let's move on. Josh Knight, Tinted Black.
Damn, Jacob, this shit crack.
Right in town with my back, Versace frames, lens tinted black. I make no time for no pit, no stops. Gas to the ground like we ditching knobs. Slow burn steady, really ain't no rush. Money coming soon, but I can't give no fucks. If my people ain't eating, what's the reason? You can't take it with you, but your family need it. If you ask why, I'll tell you what it do. Been looking for my clippers about a week or two. Gotta chop it down.
All right, so there's a big issue with this track. Can anybody point out, like, whoever's left here, right? Like, I could give a shit. I'll talk to myself if I have to, but can anybody point out what is like the biggest issue with this track right now? I give you guys a second to really think about it, and I'll play this beginning again so you can kind of hear.
I ride in town. I ride in town with my back, Versace frames, lens tinted black. I make no time for no pit, no stops. Gas to the ground like we ditching knobs. Slow burn steady, really ain't no rush. Money coming soon, but I can't give no fucks. If my people ain't eating, what's the reason. Yeah. You can't take it with you, but your family need it. Yeah. If you ask why, I'll tell you what it do. Yeah, been looking for my.
Nobody? We got silence. Silence on the set, please. So, yeah, like the vocal and the beat are like in different keys. Basically, it's the best way to put it. Like, Josh, you gotta get your keys right, man. Like I like the vocal and it's super unique, right? But it's like, dude, the beat is doing something and the 808 and you're like singing some key that I don't know. And like the beat is like it's just, they like clash so hard it doesn't even make sense. So get the key right, you know, figure out the key. I know a lot of people are like, yo, I used mixed in key. I used this key thing that told me the key. It's like, well, use your ear sometimes, you know, it's important. All right, Pedro Erazo, Los Motivators. I don't know, Los Motivators. What we want is to be heard. Okay, well, Pedro, you're going to be heard right now.
Hoy por hoy nadie piensa cómo ayudar al semejante. Nadie quiere saber de nadie, solo vestir elegante. No puedes criar a tus hijos sin tenerme como ayudante. Y has corrompido la historia para sentirte más importante. De sembrar compasión, de eso no te preocupas. Te interesa saber más, ¿a dónde mandar tus tropas? Sirviendo a la nación estás y la humanidad no te preocupa. Una deportación me echas y me vendes como una puta. Siempre has criticado de cómo vive mi gente y has expuesto ante nosotros tu criterio incoherente, sin saber que mi cultura en tu vida ha sido influyente, porque nunca nos he importado lo que comenta tu gente. De Salvador te has dado desde el tiempo de la conquista y destruyes mi integridad con tu actitud capitalista. ¿Acaso tú no sabes que aquel que es último en la lista nunca se las dará de sabio, genio o artista? Acosas mi pensamiento llamándome socialista, cuando lo único que me ha importado es integrarme y no ser solista. Acomplejado me llamas cuando me hiere tu amigo fascista. Para darte una pista, me vas a...
Okay, so this is pretty hardcore, Pedro. And, you know, I used to speak Spanish pretty fluently because I lived in Costa Rica for a year, right? Yo viví en Costa Rica por un año. Okay, but here's the thing about this track that like really kind of irks me is like it doesn't go anywhere. It's like da 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 da, and like maybe that's the style, right? Like you're telling people like, yo, I'll fucking do this, do that. Like what we want is to be heard, you know. Los Motivators. And here's the thing. I would give you way better feedback if I really, you know, understood what you were saying clearly, right? But like I said, I used to speak Spanish pretty fluently and understand it. But since then, I've lost a lot of my Spanish. So I think I'm probably the wrong person to be giving you feedback on like what the song's about and how to approach it. But I will tell you, like a minute and 24 seconds into a song where there's like no melodic thing or hook or change up, I think you're going to lose a lot of your audience. And most audiences don't want to just be like yelled at or preached at. And I talk about that a lot with like gospel music, right? Like a lot of people that send in gospel music, like they'll put like Bible verses up front. Or like a preacher, you know, and the devil and hell and the Lord is coming back. And you're like, dude, if you're trying to only talk to Christians and talk to other people that believe exactly what you believe and get your message across to those people only, I think that's kind of weird, right? Because how would that make sense? Like you want to actually have a conversation. You want to talk to people and I guess like get your opinion across and like connect with people, right? So that you guys can have a conversation rather than like, you know, just preaching to the people that already have been preached to or believe the same thing you believe. So that being said, I think a better approach to, you know, this kind of music is to have something that's going to be melodic or bring you in, or at least give you an opportunity to understand and like listen to what you have to say. But a minute and 30 seconds of someone just like chanting and yelling stuff, I just feel like it's a very, very, very narrow niche audience. And I can't really speak on that. I can't really be like, yo, let me tell you like what you should do with the kick drum. Like, I don't care. Just don't care. All right, so Free Tyree Genetics EP version. Let's roll.
So look, bro, look, I'm thinking in a whole different mindset. It's not just because of how I was raised. I feel like that's exactly what the fuck is supposed to happen. If a nigga disrespects you, it's a rap. That's it. Niggas can't talk it out nowadays. You know when niggas put it, you know what I mean? They put that motherfucking, they put that thing out. I mean, it's different now, man. I mean, that shit like, you know.
So this is like a perfect example, right? Like the beginning, having the snippet is really cool. I really like the sound design under this, right? I think it's super dope. But that being said, like you just limited your audience. Like you narrowed in so hard on your audience because most of your audience is not going to want to hear a snippet of you talking about like, you know, preaching like people getting shot or whatever it is, like a serious thing up front, unless it's a very specific audience. And that, like, you basically close the doors to, you know, 75% of everybody else, which is hard. That's hard if you're trying to make it in the music business. All right, so let's keep going though.
That shit might have something to do with it. I don't know where you're from, but you can't be no bitch. That shit blood.
You got all over your face, nigga. You got all over your motherfucker. Damn, I stay up at night.
Okay, so my recommendation for you on this Free Tyree, like, just have two versions of this. Have one version where you have the snippet at the beginning, but you should definitely have like this version where it just comes in with that sample and you get into the music. Because most of the time, nobody's going to want to listen to any of this stuff. And 30 seconds in, they're just going to skip it. They're going to be like, what is this? Like, think about this coming on Spotify in a playlist. What do you think people are going to do? They're going to be like, oh, yeah, man, let me hear what this guy's got to say. Like, no, they're going to be like, what is this? Can someone skip that? You're at a party and it's like, yeah, you know, let me tell you, like, people are going to raise pistols. You know, people are going to get shot. Like, can someone skip this? Like, you just limited yourself like crazy. But this is super dope sample. I'm gonna listen to this shit.
You got all over your face, nigga. You got all over your motherfucker. Damn, I stay up at night. Damn, like this the way of life. And inspector, a debt collected. Like damn, he just paid the price. Fuck what your daddy told you, nigga. I will fold you. My daddy said, go for the head. That's the way of life. You don't get no pass. Boy, I'm on your ass. My daddy had his stripes. He prayed in chapels. He bit the apple. The fruit is ripe. The fuck you mean? I can't stop, boy. It's in my jeans. Yeah, fuck are you after? The fuck are you mad for? Son of a bitch, son of a gun, son of a bastard. The fuck are you after? What the fuck are you after? You chasing your goals, you chasing your dreams. That's not what it seems. You chasing your daddy, you chasing your mama, you chasing your uncle, you chasing your cousin, you chasing your brother. Ha! Yeah, I see you installing, nigga. You ain't like your uncle, you chasing your liquor, you fuck alcoholic, nigga. Yeah. I heard that you bitch made. Heard you ain't stepping on shit, you a hoe. Watch when I catch your bitch ass at the stove. Guns get the clapping on niggas, that's capping little nigga. When I catchin' them walking, I'm not with the talking. You talk all that shit, drop the low. But we not beefing, really, I'm vegan now. You gotta know that I'm not a hoe. I'm not like my dad.
All right, so this song like sounds really personal. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna have a really hard time doing anything like market viably, right? Like it's just such a personal song. It sounds like someone, you know, like this guy's got beefs with someone and he just wanted to get it out. But it doesn't really sound like a record to me. It sounds like, you know, you got on a beat, which is a dope beat. I love that part of the beat as well. Like I love these sample beats, man. Like I grew up on this shit like hardcore, you know, like I started making hip hop like with an MPC, you know, like MPC 3000. And then I got the 4000, which was insane. And I got it because Just Blaze was using the 4000, and it had 96K sampling, right? Which was crazy for like a sampler drum machine. But the 4000 was crazy. I loved it. I used the 2000 XL, you know, messed around with the CF cards, compact flash cards, you know, upgraded all the drives, got the JJOS. Any of you guys like real heads know what the fuck I'm talking about, you know, drop a comment. You know what I'm saying? But anybody else, you know, you guys just don't understand. You're like in FL Studio fucking doing this shit like click, 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 click. Like we didn't do that. We sampled records and we fucking chopped shit up and resampled and boomed out stuff on pads and had to find stuff and search for drums, you know. But we didn't have Splice. But anyway, sorry, I digress. I think the beat's really hard. I think the rapping's pretty cool. It's not that great. You know, I think your bars are kind of like, they're okay. But at the end of the day, dude, like you got to make a song out of this. You got to make a record. Like you got to have verses. You have to have some sort of structure. You got to have a chorus, you know. And then you could tell your story a little bit better, right? Like a chorus can tell a story really well because it's like a hook. Like you can say like 3 words and it's like, oh, that totally explains it. Like, you know, genetics, Free Tyree, like you can have a hook about like, you know, I don't know. Some of this stuff just sounds like way too personal. Like I don't think a lot of people are going to get it. You know, unless you're Drake and like people can understand that you're talking about public figures and you're talking about popular rappers and artists, people are just going to be like, I'm not going to listen to this. It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. I'm sorry. I love you guys so much. That's a wrap for tonight. Thanks for coming through and popping in. If you guys ever need any help with any of your music, mixing, mastering, producing, I'm building actually another studio downstairs here. And Radium Records, you know, Radium Media. We're going to be probably taking on some more artists, some more stuff and producing. And, you know, I've been producing for 20 years. Mixing and mastering, all that stuff. So if you guys ever need any of that stuff, definitely hit me up. I stay pretty busy, but, you know, I'm always down to take on the right artist, the right song, the right, you know, EP, whatever. And, of course, I'm dropping my own music and my own records. So if you guys haven't already, go check out Stolen Love. You know, this is one I just dropped. You know, I got to do this, guys. This is like, you know, I had to listen to all your music. You got to listen to mine, right? It's only fair. So this is Stolen Love. I dropped this actually about a month ago, and go check it out, stream it up, and tell me what you guys think. You know, I'd love some feedback from you guys as well. All right, and I'm going to leave you with this, and I'm going to say good night. So I really appreciate you guys.